Happy Halloween from Kale's Tales. Did you ever wonder if Jimmy Neutron will ever have a terrifying, scary episode? Especially for Halloween time. In Retroville was released in 2003. I remember this particularly because, one, it was released a year after I was born, two days before Halloween time. It would be almost 21 years old. You got that? 2 decades old. And it still holds up, as you've probably seen from the title. I wouldn't say too much of a dark episode. There are a few elements that I would find a little bit terrifying, particularly with the music and how the CG animation can be a little bit unsettling. I guess, well, when I was younger, I had the Jimmy and Timmy Power Hour 2 on DVD, and the episode Nightmare in Retroville was included in that. And I really, growing up, I really enjoyed it every Halloween. And I found it to be pretty fun. Well, it's a pretty simple idea, pretty simple plot, really. Jimmy Neutron, young boy genius. He turns his two friends into monsters, so they can get more candy, and things get a little bit out of control as usual with Jimmy's inventions. And so we're gonna get into it right away. What'd I tell ya? Mind-bending music, eh? And for one of the kid shows on Nickelodeon, such, especially like Invention Sim or in Snippy, there are not just dark vibes to it, but the music can be bizarrely unsettling. It did with me when I was younger, and with the title, you can tell it's like a bit of a homage to Nightmare on Elm Street. The title mostly. And the more you analyze the episode gets long, there are a few small, like, Halloween movie references that pays homage to older movies back then.
A momentous decision which will affect us all forever. What are we gonna be for Halloween? What, my boy?
See, we have Carl Weasley here, voiced by one of my favorite funny people, the great Rob Paulsen. Him, Jimmy, and Sheen are wondering what to be for Halloween, and he puts out "Mama Boy," which sounds something made up completely, like. And Jimmy said, like, "You've been Long Boy for the last 8 years. Like, really, dude? Like, spice it up." So, like, you'll probably get women love you either way, really, right? And I love seeing the fan art of Carl all the time, and he is one of my favorite funny characters in this, whether you like him or not. And
I know. So this year, I'm adding a cave.
Why do we hang with him?
because either his parents and your parents are best friends, or they secretly pay you behind Carl's back, just so Carl doesn't get lonely. He needs to get out and socialize.
I said really scary.
You could be Miss Fowl.
I loved a little bit of a mean-spirited vibe, comfortable, beautiful mean-spiritedness, and that's just making like you could be Miss Fowl, like, oh, too far. I love it. Poor Miss Fowl. One of my other favorite characters in this, besides Carl, is, of course, Hugh Neutron, Jimmy's dad. He's watching, I guess, a parody homage of one of the Universal monsters back then is Octopus Man, which I guess to symbolize or pay homage to the old monsters then. The horror fans today, they sympathize with monster more because they're just born, either they were just born or they just woke up from some big hibernation, and they're completely misjudged, and in like the military or government people come and go attack them, and like King Kong or Godzilla, and they go, "Hey, I was just born. Why attack me? Leave me alone." And so
I wanted the octopus man for Halloween when I was a lad, but Mother wouldn't buy me the costume. Said it was too scary for a 16-year-old. I'll never forget her for that.
it was too scary for a 16-year-old. What I guess he had those kind of parents, that kind of mom, and it's one thing. Well, who said that on the show that Jimmy Neutron didn't have any hilarious writers? There's some lines I watched back on like that joke's pretty funny.
This year, Jim, Albert Einstein, jet fusion, that smart guy in the wheelchair that talks with a keyboard.
When I was younger and watched this, I had no idea that he was referencing Stephen Hawking, and now we all know that he's one of the most brilliant scientists in the world. Stephen, rest in peace. And I look back, is it offensive to dress up as Stephen Hawking for Halloween? Like, not in a cruel or mocking way, because in this century, I would have no idea what would come off as offensive, because most people these days are like 100% sensitive, because I would have no idea what's going to be deemed offensive in the next 10 years.
Ooh, the plot thickens.
Gentlemen, I have a proposition. I'll make you guys really scary for Halloween in exchange for 25% of your candy.
Jimmy, voiced by the great Debbie Derryberry, and says like, "All right, I'll play God with you only if I have half of your candy. You got any if there was any nerds, then I'm a nerd. Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Then, all right, let's get cracking, shall we? Let's change y'all. Let's splice your DNA a bit."
All right, Carl, go ahead.
To the place where Jimmy has all this neat stuff and where he invents things and then something goes wrong and we have a big adventure.
To the lab!
Yeah, Carl he was kind of droning and rambling on too much. Just about to say Jimmy's line, and Sheen just popped up like, "To the left!" like greedy attention hog. Love you, Sheen.
Monster, step under the cone of creation, and it'll realign your molecules to make you look like that monster. Down to horrifying atom.
Cool! But Sheen, you gotta...
And so we're brought back to Jimmy's lab. He made this monster machine made out of like something from Drew Carey's The Price is Right game show thing. And we have these like very well illustrated monsters. I love the designs on each of them. One I noticed growing up, like I kind of jaw dropped me, is Michael Jackson's on there. I feel like it can be taken two different ways. One, because of the one of his famous songs, Thriller, or two, if you mean joke of his the allegation that came out about him in Neverland, which is its own story there.
Here are the choices. A werewolf.
That's it! I want to be the wolf guy!
Sheen, I have 101 other monsters.
I know, Jimmy, but it's been my lifelong dream to be covered in hair.
How are
You're right. It's your lifelong dream to be covered in hair, Sheen. You know, you'll grow up and become a shirtless comedian and become friends with Tom Segura and tell a story about you wrestling a bear. Yeah, that's the life for you, kid. Furthermore, what I love about the show is the facial expressions in this. They're hilarious. Like, he has this weird, like, this, like, it's like, he's too excited about what's going to happen to him.
All right, werewolf it is. What about you, Carl? The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Too hunchy.
The Blob?
Too blobby.
The Phantom of the Opera?
Too opera-y.
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein.
As the episode goes on, we are going to get many small little, hat tips to our favorite monster movies, whether it's horror comedy and comics that have horror in them. There's a difference between them. That was a line from Young Frankenstein, one of my favorite movies growing up.
Frankenstein. You're putting me on. No, it's pronounced Frankenstein.
A few point tips here. I love the sign of Sheen here as a werewolf. It's especially how he does the dark shadow under his eyes a bit, and how there's much more hair on his arms a bit more. Second, this is such a great face of Jimmy made before, as he purposely wants, I'm gonna kill. He's about to blow something up or something. He's about to blow up Earth or something. And second, on the control panels, I noticed there's good detail in this, such as there's gills, there's scars and blood. So if Jimmy presses blood, for one of his friends, then I guess blood's gonna come out of their mouth or their eyes and their ears, and I feel like that's a pinch of a ballsy move for them to add in there.
I am Dracula! That was my key book.
Another fun design here of Carl as Dracula or vampire is same look as Bela Lugosi have when he was Dracula. Even he gave a teeny tiny little cape there, which pretty much makes it all the more hilarious, and especially when he's too small. It looks like he picked up a 6-year-old's costume of Dracula. It can't fit him well like that. This is a very hilarious Halloween special.
Yeah, Jimbo, you have seen my suede duck feet with the... Oh, golly.
Excuse me, in the show, because I thought the way to get into Jimmy's lab was he needed to pick out his hair and DNA and scan it, or his eye and scan it. But with it, I feel like they need a reason for Hugh to get into lab, so I guess Jimmy forgot to fix the mat, makes into the door, and Hugh actually got in because of a loose wiring or something. They just need to get on with the plot. We need to screw it. Hugh needs to get in that lab.
A big game? Oh, I want to play Name That Monster. Spin the wheel. Ride, goes where it stops. Nobody knows.
One thing that makes Hugh pretty funny is he's both innocent, naive, and clueless. A good heart. He's still a caring father. He still loves his wife and son, and he doesn't know when he is has his foot into danger. He actually stumbles upon Jimmy's monster machine, and he's about to completely splice up his DNA.
Where's my prize? Does it come out of that umbrella thingy?
Banana balls? Well, aren't you a little grumpy Gus tonight? Oh, what a wonderful costume! But I thought you were going to be the Duck Man of La Mancha.
And how on earth I love Hugh's design as the monster, Frankenstein's monster. And yes, horror fans, I know the monster's named Frankenstein. That's the doctor. We just call him the creature or some. And so with they gave him the traditional Frankenstein's monster, where of flat head, scar stitching, green, with the bolts in his neck, the iconic look from Universal. And I always wonder, how did he get out of the lab again? Wasn't there a way to get out of the lab, Jimmy's lab? I feel like the writers are just go with it.
Be right back!
what gets me here is they even gave him the same thing of the monster is terrified of fire because it's Neutron. Like, fire is bad, of course, and he's trying to get out of the house. At one point, he is like a little bit fast and sometimes a little bit slow on his design, and he's trying to get out, but like his head is too big and he just like bends over and leaps out. Another scene here is when the shadow of Carl and Sheen as monsters I found a little bit intimidating because you don't know what's going to happen up at your door. I found a little bit intimidating. Just the music alone, mostly, and the shadowing there. And for 2003, the CG animation really does hold up. Like,
Darling! Thanks! Oh, I used to love to dress up for Halloween. One year, I was a butterfly. Then I was an elf, a sprite, an ice skater. I was Peter Pan 6 times. Michelangelo's David, and I gotta tell you, that was chilly.
alright, 2 things to note here. One, what the hell kind of candy is this? Are they like some sort of like rolled up like finger balls? Or like something from like a mummy cat would hack up? Second, I love the principal character here. He does hit some good laughs in most of these episodes, especially from his flamboyant personality. One thing to note, and he can be very funny. Most of these characters can have their own hilarious personality. Some more, I don't mean it in a mean, offensive way. I don't know way to put it, because he kind of just is really, it really is on the nose of, because he just said, like, I was an elf. I was a sprite. I was Peter Pan 6 times. And if he, in this lifetime, even if he came out of the closet, we all love and appreciate him so much more. No offense, it really is on the nose. I mean, come on, people. And let's not lie to ourselves here.
Ow! See? I cut myself! I'm bleeding! Man!
Growing up, the fact that they show blood, shiny red blood coming out of Carl's finger, I feel like it was a pretty good ballsy move there, showing a little bit of blood, and what kind of a little bit of gross out was like not like uncomfortably gross, but like a little bit of disturbing yet beautifully hilarious.
Boy, that is good. I mean, that is really good. I want more. I need blood.
You need counseling.
Must have blood. Oh, listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make. I must join them.
And so we see from Carl is, he drinks his blood, he licks his blood, and I guess this affects from the monster Sheen of him actually turning to a real vampire or Dracula. And he even quotes the line from Bela Lugosi's Dracula, "Listen to them, the children of the night, what music they make." And you're gonna see more like little homages and like quotes from the old monster movies then. And we start to see the effects of the machine happen on both Carl and then Sheen.
Ooh, if Carl turned into a real vampire, then you could turn into a real... Sheen, I think we better go back to the lab. Or not.
I don't lie to you guys, but the fact I found a little bit terrifying that Sheen would immediately crack and descend into like pure werewolf madness, especially with the growls that don't sound you. And I know that that's Frank Welker doing the creature werewolf sounds there. One of the best actors, Fred Jones, Scooby-Doo, Slimer from Ghostbusters, and many other wonderful creature sounds. And the fact that he would come after Jimmy, the fact that there's a werewolf around, and the image here is a little bit little bit intimidating, it is both terrifying and pretty fun.
We survive.
Why exactly I titled this on the Dark Halloween special is, this, it looks like Werewolf Sheen is about to come to the screen and jump on you, attack you. It's three shots of these three monsters out there, and like scream, and like growling, roaring. Looks like to the viewer bit. Always found, let's see, Sheen the most intimidating. To Jimmy, just terrified, like, it's gonna be a memorable Halloween, Goddard, if we survive. Like, if we survive? Good lord. And alongside Carl drinking his own blood, like, this is a little bit tense.
Goddard, access vampire data so I know what I'm dealing with. Vampires feed on the blood of the living. They can turn their victims into vampires and are...
I love the illustrations here on Goddard's screen of how they drew and illustrated the vampire, or Dracula here. He literally has a foot as a cup and drinks it through a straw like a cup or a mug, and like that's a pretty good joke there. I don't know, to me, something like you see from a Mad magazine, perhaps. Mad magazine probably did do that. Who knows? Who knows?
What have you got on werewolves?
He's a man who is pure at heart and says his prayers by night. May become a wolf when the wolf's bane blooms and the autumn moon is mine.
Hi.
This is exactly what I mean by quoting from Universal Monsters. That's a real thing, right out of The Wolfman 1941. And you even have Miss Fowl dressed up as Maria Ostvinskaya from the Lon Chaney Jr. movie there. And even this pretty well done impression of Maria.
Hi, Miss Fowl. How do you know about werewolves?
I was married to one, but that's a story for...
Married to one? A story for another day. I kind of want to see that. See, each character can be funny in their own way. Like, applause to the writers of Jimmy Neutron here. Like, I was married to one. I kind of want to see that. Who were you married to? Were you married to Michael J. Fox at one point?
Hey, spoon, hairbrush, anything silver. Okay, happy Halloween, don't forget the floss.
I know I say too much of, even most of the characters can be hilarious in their unique way. The fact that she says, "Happy Halloween, don't get the floss!" Like, she comes out of nowhere, like, to help Jimmy, sort of. Like, was she just in the fog out of nowhere, dressed up like this? And she disappears, like, she almost looked like she, I don't know, like Obi-Wan Kenobi's ghost, just disappear in the fog. It feels like it fits into this world. That's what makes this unique, is it's not normal people in a different world, it's weird people in a weird world that makes it so much more hilarious. Like, I don't know, a Pee Wee Herman vibe or Invader Zim vibe.
I thought you were going to be Llama Boy for the 900th time.
Llama Boy is how you say, old school. May I say, you look...
The face that Cindy Vortex makes as Carl's just rambling on is like, oh my god, this freaking guy. And I know she's doing like a parody of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She's Buffy the Vampire Annihilator, which I guess a tip of hat to Sarah Michelle Gellar there.
My neck? What's your problem?
Look into my eyes. I mean, if you don't marry.
Why the heck would I want to...
Look into my eyes.
Universal Monsters reference. You get a good shot, a camera shot of Carl's eye, the light shine on his eyes, and a facial expression of, that's Bela Lugosi as Dracula there. You have a good shot of, look into my eyes. And a little bit of Carl going, I mean, if you don't mind, And so clearly John A. Davis and Odin Kirk, I guess were absolutely in love with these Universal Monsters movies growing up, as do I. When I was growing up, the fact that they don't show Carl biting Cindy's neck to turn to a vampire, I think that's left up. They let our minds wonder that Carl did bite Cindy, and like that's a little bit of a like, ooh, oh god, that must have been the
Have you seen any livestock? Cows, pigs, sheep?
Sheen, you're usually weird, but tonight you got a little extra going on.
I need meat!
Well, don't look at me. I'm a vegetarian.
I knew it! Carlos with $2. He thought you were a Republican.
Vegetarian.
And here's Werewolf Sheen, just about to. We all know he's gonna turn, bite Libby and turn her into a werewolf, as well. And the fact that he looked tasty. He already looks like a hairy, paranoid schizophrenic, homeless schizophrenic as well. Here, and he gets a good few laughs here and there. Like, Carl owed me $2. He said he thought you were a Republican.
Ugh, those goddamn mosquitoes out at night.
Wish I could walk faster.
That's both Hugh himself is making fun of the fact that Frankenstein's monster bizarrely walks so very slow, and like what kind of god would give me this power? Like, I wish I could walk faster, despite that you kind of ran out the door, kind of leaped out the door a little fast there earlier. So what give?
Thought I'd fiddle around with the old Stradivarius. Any requests? I'm not familiar with that one. Can you hum?
Oh, don't mumble. You sound like you have a mouthful of marbles. Hugh, what are you doing? This isn't our rumba lesson night.
I wish I was married.
Oh, another funny character here. We have Sam, who runs the candy bowl or sugar bar here, is voiced by Billy West, doing an Al Lewis impression. And here is on Halloween night, he's on top of his store and he's playing the violin. Like, that is bizarrely out of character for him, that he would know how to play violin, which just adds to the weirdness of Jim Neutron world. And the fact that that Jimmy's mom would find Hugh out of at the candy bar just walking around, and Sam kind of wishes he had that romance of what Jimmy's parents have, which a few small jokes there.
A real life. Dead.
Cindy has joined me. You too must join me.
The design here on Vampire Cindy is pretty cool, is pretty awesome. Let's see, black beauty hair, light shining on the eyes, just as Carl was, and their vampire sign is pretty well done. Like I'd ship that. Jimmy and Cindy, of course. A bit of good element in layers of jokes here is an Easter egg I noticed behind Bat, Carl, and Cindy. Here is the House of Blue Pants from the pilot, Jimmy Neutron pilot, When Pants Attack. Second, I find it a bit hilarious that as Cindy and Carl as a bat, that their heads would be too big for their bat bodies, and like somehow that it was that their body would support their fat heads. Third, the fact they use that stereotype cliche of vampires are afraid of garlic and that they'll die or burn something, and that they're immediately scared off by it. And fourth, that it's hilariously convenient that Jimmy and Goddard are even behind it. Lucky Joe or something's House of Garlic, with convenience there.
lives. But we can't stay here all night. Let's sneak back to the hover car through the alley.
You know, depending on the economy in Retroville, really sneaking through the alley, like, you don't know what's down there. Whether it's homeless people, or you don't know if you're gonna get knifed or mugged down there. It's a good thing you have a robot dog that can shoot lasers out of his eyes and probably blow their heads off or something. So just that, especially at night, like, really sneak through alley at night. I hope you're armed, kid.
She must have bitten Libby.
We're just good friends.
That's a little bit of a good comeback there. Or one-liner, at least. I mean, especially, first off, 2 shots here I found a little bit scary as a kid. They did a good job making Libby and Sheen as werewolves a little bit scary. Especially the shadows behind that are following Jimmy and Goddard, and they made Libby, just for at least 3 seconds in the dark, look like frightening a bit. And then Jimmy falls the lines of, "Sheen must have been Libby," and Libby goes, "We're just good. Oh no, we're just friends." That can come off as, it's like everything has double meaning, doesn't it?
Looks like the high-ho silver jewelry store.
That's another hilarious, a good joke there. Like, once, I mean, it's only just silver teacups or a teacupware, yet both werewolves are both frightened by it. And second, name that store Hi-Ho Silver Store. Hi-Ho Silver away. Come on, that is some pretty good writing there. You gotta give it credit. Both hilariously pathetic that this little fat kid dressed up as Dracula is fighting this grown man as Frankenstein monster with a pickle nose, just poke him in the eye like, "Ow, my eye!"
That's it! I'll lower the replication frequency so my DNA doesn't change like the others. Goddard, initiate transformation sequence.
And so Jimmy is, trying to find a way to get all his dad and his friends back to normal. And so he needs to come up with a better way how to fetch everyone back. So he has this, it feels as a payoff. Not to spoil it, but when they show, when Hugh, earlier when he was watching his favorite monster movie, Octopus Man, it was more like a I guess, foreshadowing clue of what's going to of something that's going to come along later on. So that little bit of clue there.
Great flippin' toadstools! Real monsters! We gotta destroy them! Quick, go get some angry villagers, some torches, garlic, some silver junk, and a beautiful red-haired woman named Tessie.
We don't need a beautiful red-haired woman named Tessie.
Speak for yourself.
There's just 5 monsters attacking you, Sam. And one of them's an adult. The rest are just small children. Second, was there? These people like, "Oh my God, real monsters!" And third, we need garlics, torches, River and Tessie. We don't need that. Speak for yourself. Like, is Miss Fowler's first name Tessie? I thought your first name was Winnie. And furthermore, like, he just wants a woman in his life, basically. We need that. Well, I need that.
Silver teaspoon.
Sorry, Sam, I couldn't find you a red-haired woman named Tessie.
Ain't that the story of my life? Oh well, get those monsters!
Buddy, you'll find that special someone. Someday. Someday.
Fire to the windmill! Burn it in the evil monsters with it! Hey, hi! Excuse us, playing through.
And here you have another monster movie trope, or cliche, is just like the original Frankenstein movie, is the monster hides I mean, in the old windmill, and here comes the angry mob with torches to burn him down when he's hiding in the mill. And it's the funniest thing is that they're all the five of them hide behind a windmill at a golf course, and there's people playing at night. Like, do people play golf at night? I wouldn't know. I'm not much of a golf expert, but if they do, then fine.
It's Octopus Man!
Me love you.
I absolutely am madly in love with Jimmy's octopus head design. It would make sense because a few times in the show they would make fun of how much Jimmy has a giant head, and his hairstyle looks like an ice cream cone, or ice cream really, and that he is turned into Hugh's favorite monster, and he uses his suction cups to get everybody back to turn back to normal.
Yuck, me neither.
I've lost all desire to consume human flesh.
That is the best, Carl. That's the best Sheen quote that's always lived rent free in my noggin. I have no longer a desire to eat human flesh. Like, that made into a kid's show. This is why I titled it The Darkest. Like, it's both dark and hilarious. Like, I can't eat human flesh anymore. Like, I don't know, like Ed Gein or Albert Fish. Like, I love these bizarre out of context lines from.
It's scary.
Don't worry. I can fix that. Trick or treat.
I always thought, like, no, Jimmy as Octopus Man, he's just playing Ding Dong Ditch. He's not getting candy. He's just gonna. Even when he says trick or treat, it sounds some sinister, like, trick or treat. I play Ding Dong Ditch. Anyway, that was Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Nightmare in Retroville. It's probably both Monster Hunt that I reviewed there, and this Halloween special is always. They're both my favorites in the series that I really do enjoy. I can recommend them to you guys for the holiday season. It's both, there's small hints of dark elements and both hilarious one-liners there. And that's, Jimmy Neutron's always been one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. And it's kind of, the one thing it reminds me of Rocky and Bullwinkle is the animation's not so hot, but the writing is hilarious. I mean, can be really good, clever, and hilarious there. And it's, just a childhood gem to everyone and I. So what's your favorite Halloween special for Nickelodeon? Do you have a few good recommendations? I certainly do. Thank you all for watching. Anyway, gotta blast.